You've probably looked at your bank account, seen that big $100,000 balance, and thought, I've finally made it. Time to relax. But what if I told you that hitting six figures is not some finish line? It's just the starter pistol for a far bigger wealth-building race. Here's the part you're high. School math teacher skipped. Every year you wait to put that $100,000 to work could cost you $160,000 or more in future compound growth. According to S&P 500 historical returns, it's not just about how much you have. It's about how fast you make your money multiply. If you think you might be behind at $100,000, wait till I show you why waiting is far riskier than being wrong. Today, I'll reveal the step-by-step wealth milestones that can turn your $100,000 into $1 million, plus show you precisely how much each year of delay shaves off your future fortune. Stay with me, because the real leap comes sooner than you think. And missing this window is the #1 money mistake I see. Let's get started. Welcome to Money Masters. I'm John, your go-to strategist for growing wealth, demystifying personal finance, and uncovering how everyday choices can unlock financial freedom. If you're tired of random advice and dead-end tips, you're in the right place. Before I launch into the math that can either supercharge your excitement or send you into a cold sweat over past decisions, let's reset what most people believe about building wealth. People think it's a straight line. Every dollar saved gets you $1 closer to the dream. 10,000 saved, that's 10,000 closer to $1 million. 50,000, even better. Simple math, right? Actually, dangerously wrong. This thinking is why so many people make it to midlife, glance at their savings, and panic at the idea of working until 85. So here's the claim I'm going to prove. That initial $100,000 is not just 10% of your $1 million goal. You may be way closer than you think, thanks to something so shocking, so mathematically unfair in your favor. Most people can't believe it until they see the numbers. I'm talking about the real driver behind generational wealth, compound interest. It's what financial legends like Warren Buffett call the eighth wonder of the world, and what S&P 500 returns over the past half-century keep confirming, decade after decade. But here's the big difference. Those who understand compounding build wealth that accelerates. Those who don't stay stuck wondering why they can't ever seem to get ahead, no matter how hard they work. Step 1. The first $100K. Laying the foundation, let's break this down with the real math. Say you invest $500 each month, $6,000 per year. Something many people easily spend on small luxuries and extras, often without noticing. Let's assume you average an 8% annual investment return, which is actually slightly lower than the stock market's historical average. According to data from Vanguard and the S&P 500, first milestone, it takes about 12 years of steady contributions to make your first $100,000. Seems slow, right? But think back. Where were you 12 years ago? Time passes anyway, whether you build wealth or watch Netflix. During those first 12 years, nearly all of what piles up is from your contributions. You're doing the heavy lifting, with compounding still warming up in the background. $84,000 of those dollars were contributed by you. Only $16,000 comes from growth. It's nice, but let's be honest, that's not life-changing. Yet. Here's where most people trip, seeing this slow start. They give up or get distracted. They tell themselves it isn't working or grow impatient, never realizing they've just done the hardest part. Setting the foundation. That is what sets the wealthy apart. Have you ever hit a big savings goal, then lost momentum? If so, comment below. How long did it take you to get to your first $100,000? Or how long do you expect it'll take? Let's see how diverse our journeys really are. Step 2. Doubling down. The race to $200K. Here's the paradigm shift. Traditional thinking says you're 10% of the way to $1 million. But compound interest doesn't play by those rules. From here on out, your money gets serious leverage. Next up, the $200,000 milestone. Here's where compounding flexes. Doubling from $100,000 to $200,000 takes just 6 more years, not another 12. Reread that. Your second $100,000 comes in half the time. 20 years in, you're now sitting at $200,000. Out of that, you contributed $120,000. But $80,000 now comes from growth alone. That's wealth snowballing for you, pure and simple. And the truly wild part, even though you've only got $200,000, you're now over halfway to $1 million, not just 20% there. How is that possible? Because compound interest is exponential, not linear. The dollars your money creates start creating even more dollars. Picture this like pushing a boulder up a hill. The start is grueling, but once you reach the peak, that boulder rolls under its own power. Momentum is now your best asset. Have you noticed this change in your own accounts? Drop a money emoji below if you felt the shift from slow slog to snowball. Now let's humanize this for a moment. Misa, a member of our Money Masters community, started with $500 per month and hit her first $100,000 after 13 years, steady, not flashy. But her next $100,000 arrived in just over 5 years, thanks to those reinvested returns. Her turning point. She automated her investing and stopped peeking at her portfolio every week, letting compounding do its thing. Step 3. The exponential leap. From $200K to $1 million. So, what does the final stretch look like? This is where things speed up fast. If you keep investing $500 per month, compound interest drives your account past $1 million at the 35-year mark. Your total out-of-pocket, about $210,000. That means over 75% of your $1 million balance is compound growth. Not your sweat, not your salary, but your money working for you. And it gets crazier. By that point, your investments could generate around $80,000 per year in returns, enough to fully replace most people's working income, purely from historical averages. And if you keep rolling, by year 40, your portfolio can climb above $2 million, with over $160,000 per year in earnings, all while your own contributions remain just a fraction of your net worth. These are not predictions, but illustrations based on S&P 500 averages with inflation factored in. Here's your first risk disclaimer. The numbers in this video demonstrate what's possible if you stick to your plan across decades. Market performance varies, and past results don't guarantee future returns. Always do your own research or consult a financial advisor. Want to know the secret locked inside this timeline? The last 15 years matter more than all your early effort combined. Stick around. Coming up, I'll show you the cost of waiting just a single year to start your plan, and how it can cut your future wealth by over $80,000. Progress check. Where are you on the roadmap? Let's formalize the process with a simple framework. The 3 wealth milestones. Milestone 1. Your first $100K. Establish unstoppable investing habits and make savings automatic. Milestone 2. Doubling down to $200K. Get compound interest working for you, not against you. Milestone 3. Exponential leap to $1 million plus. Let time and growth rewrite your financial reality. Screenshot this framework. You'll want to reference it the next time you question whether steady investing is worth it. Why wait? The true cost of delay. Now, maybe you're asking, but John, what about inflation and market swings? Or, I can barely save $50 a month. How can I get to $500? These are legit concerns. The kind that separate people who excuse themselves out of wealth building from those who solve. For it, let's tackle them, starting with the numbers. According to the S&P 500, long-term historical returns are about 10% before inflation, 7 to 8% after. Using a conservative 8%, we're planning for reality, not fantasy. Planning for higher is risky. Cat food for retirement is not a plan. As for market crashes, they're inevitable. But if you consistently invest during downturns, you buy more shares on sale. And when the market rebounds, those shares surge in value. Over 150 years, markets have always rebounded, even after wars and recessions. Consistency crushes volatility in the long run. Let's run the opportunity cost math. If you put off investing that $500 per month for just 1 year, Your end balance after 35 years drops by over $48,000. Wait just 5 years. You lose more than $160,000 down the line. This isn't theory. These are cold, hard numbers from a compound interest calculator. Every year matters. If you've ever wished you started earlier, type starting now in the comments. The best time is today. Case study: small savings, big impact. A lot of viewers doubt they can find $500 per month to invest. But the Federal Reserve reports the average U.S. household spends more than $700 per month on food alone. Cut that by 30% with meal planning and smarter shopping, and you've freed up $200 or more a month. Consider car payments. The average in the U.S. is now over $800 per month. Drive a reliable used model instead of new. You might cut that in half and instantly unlock the money needed to start investing without giving up every pleasure in life. Here's a real-life win. Alex from our audience traded his $850 car payment for a $350 used car/delivery meals, and without feeling deprived redirected $600 per month to investments. Within 2 years, Alex had 5 times his emergency fund and watched his account grow by over $10,000 in returns, even during a market slump. These changes were small, but added up fast. If you've made a major lifestyle trade-off like downsizing car expenses or ditching delivery, apps, drop your story below. Let's inspire each other. Pattern break. Flipping the mindset. Maybe you're thinking, is it worth it? When do I actually feel rich? Here's the psychological unlock. Once your account crosses 6 figures, you begin seeing 5-figure annual growth thanks to compounding. Suddenly, seeing your balance rise $10,000 or even $20,000 in a single year becomes normal, not magical, and that visible acceleration energizes you to keep going. Not convinced. The first $100,000 builds character. The next $900,000, if you stick with it, builds wealth. Screenshot that. It's not just about numbers, but who you become in the process. Disciplined, future-focused, and immune to short-term temptation. The Wealth Builder's cheat code. Here's where the biggest psychological shift happens. Wealthy people view every expense as an opportunity cost. Dinner out for $100 isn't just $100. It might be several hundred or 1,000 in lost future growth. They don't sacrifice happiness, but they understand trade-offs, and so can you. Compound interest, the Wealth Builder's cheat code. Every year you use it is money working while you sleep. If that resonates, share it with a friend who needs a wake-up call today. Empowerment story time. Take Samira, who started investing late at 38. She automated $250 per month, bumped it to $400 by 45, and despite market crashes, crossed $100,000 in 10 years. Momentum gave her freedom. She switched to a lower-paying dream job and knew her nest egg was working behind the scenes. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent and willing to start. Unlocking options. Why 100K changes your life. Here's a practical unlock. When you reach that $100,000 milestone, you don't just have a bigger bank account. You have options. You can accept a riskier job with equity, launch a business, or pounce on a real estate opportunity. These doors don't open if you're living paycheck to paycheck. The same habits that get you to $100,000 living beneath your means. Ignoring hype. Controlling spending makes scaling to $1 million realistic. Plus, as your career progresses, you can increase contributions alongside raises. $500 a month at 25 might become $800 or $1,000 by 40. Turbocharging the whole process. Critical perspective. Why most people fail, and how you won't. Here's the truth. The biggest challenge isn't picking stocks or calculating returns. It's resisting the pressure for instant results. In our society of instant everything messages, streaming, delivery, credit waiting 35 years is unthinkable. But that's what separates wealth builders from wealth wishers. It's never about being smarter, it's about time and habits. People sabotage themselves chasing fads or timing markets. But those who automate and stay the course win out nearly every time. The math we used is conservative. It assumes you never raise your investment, never get employer matches, and never funnel in bonuses or windfalls. In real life, most people's wealth building accelerates way beyond these projections, especially if they invest raises, capture employer matches, often 50 cents on every dollar, or add even small side hustle earnings. Final progress check. Are you ready for acceleration? Listen, your $100,000 isn't just a nice number showing up in your app. It's the engine room of your next 6 figures. Maybe your next 9. I wasn't always good at this. I used to believe the gap from $100,000 to $1 million was a straight line. Experience and the math proved otherwise. If you're ready to see this leap yourself, download my free compound interest roadmap, link below, and join the Money Masters Portfolio Challenge. Plug in your actual numbers, run the projections, and see how actionable this millionaire path really is. And remember, the math doesn't lie. Time and compound interest are waiting to help, but they can only work for you if you take action. Excuses don't compound, but invested dollars always do, if you give them the time. Let's recap. Building real wealth is a marathon that turns into a sprint after your first $100,000. Step 1. Build the habit and lay the early foundation even if it takes a decade. Step 2. Let compounding work, doubling your next $100,000 in half the time. Step 3. Ride the exponential leap to $1 million and beyond. As your money starts working harder than you ever did, your immediate step today: review your own budget, automate your monthly contribution, even if it's just $50 or $100 to start, and run your numbers using the compound interest roadmap linked below. Over the next 30 to 90 days, aim to raise your investment by finding one stealth cost, like car expenses or dining out, to redirect. 6 to 12 months from now, assess your progress. Have you crossed a milestone or increased your pace? Share your story and join our ongoing Money Masters monthly portfolio challenge for accountability, community, and support. You'll start seeing tangible progress within your first year. At first a trickle, then the snowball. Within a decade, your account can cross major thresholds that most people believe are out of reach. The biggest leap comes later. Stick with it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week I'm sharing the exact index funds and practical investment strategies I personally use, backed by real return and risk analysis, not hype. Comment your #1 question or biggest investing struggle. I'll feature top responses and help solve real problems for our community. And if you're serious about mapping your own 7-figure plan, download the free compound interest roadmap spreadsheet below and join the monthly Money Masters Challenge. Let's get there together. The information in this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Past market performance doesn't guarantee future results. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making investment decisions.